I played recently in a Gibraltar Open tournament, and I picked 2 games from that tournament, 2 endgames that I want to show you today, so you can see how to win a game, basically, in a practical game when you have a slightly better position. So in this particular position, I'm playing with the black pieces, and against a female international master, Karavade, about 24-20. A FIDE-rated player. She's a pretty solid player, and she had beaten and drawn many GMs. So when I was preparing for her, I noticed that she has a pretty solid opening repertoire. And I was blocked, so I managed to get some interesting position. And here we are here, and we just exchanged queens, because as you can see, I have a pretty aggressive position here. My bishop is active, my knight. There's some potential of the open F file to get open, so she exchanged the queens, trying to liquidate, some pressure. But the first thing I want you to do, I want you to take a look at it for a minute or two and sort of tell me, what do you think the evaluation of this position is? Is it slightly better? Is it much better? Just to get an idea of like what the evaluation of this position is, and then we'll go from there. So you think white is okay, it's equal, black is better, maybe black has a big advantage. So just a balance, I want you to get the balance of this. Okay, black is slightly better. Okay, tell me the reasons, due to which factors?
The knight.
What do you think? Is there anything else here? I mean, if we compare the pieces here, if you look at it, right, just try to compare every piece individually. Let's start out with the knights. Which knight is better placed? Black knight, right? It's very clear. My knight is on e5, on a strong outpost. So that gives me a plus right there. My bishop is pretty active, but it looks like he's going to exchange it. And my rooks are better active. The one is on B file, putting pressure, and one is on F file. So pieces are very active. In fact, I thought I have a pretty substantial advantage at this moment, okay? I thought it was a little bit more than slightly better. Yeah, clearly white didn't, white is worse here. It's far away from equality. So she took, I took, and now she played the correct move, b3. The problem is if she takes, it will be just losing for her, because I just take on g3, you take, and now take, after rook b2, rook takes b2, you have the second rank. And this knight cannot come in, okay? All right, so he played the move b3, okay? Sorry, she played the move b3, stopping it. Now, I decided that I should try to open up the F file so my rook is active, right? I took, and that way I forever take the F pawn, and there's no F4 move here to attack my knight. So I took it, he took it. And now my pawn is under attack. The only thing I have to worry about it here, if some point, if she manages to play king g2, and if I move my rook, she has knight f3 trading the knight, I'm going to be in, I'm not going to have any advantage here. So whatever you do in this position, you have to make sure the knights remain on the board, okay? Now I have a couple of options to consider. Of course, d3 is a fine move as well, very appealing, but I don't want to play this yet. So I could play d3, which is probably a fine move, but what else you can do here? Because looks like after playing b3, this rook became a little bit inactive here, right? So what would be the correct move here to try to make this rook active again? What would be the move to make him more active?
c5.
Rook c5, correct. And now I'm also setting up a trap. If he takes my pawn, I go rook to c2, activating my rook, and now threatening to play rook f2, and now 2 rooks on the second rank, that's going to be something really strong. And if he plays the move rook f1, it's interesting. I just take. And now knight cannot take back because of the beautiful fork here, winning the rook. And if he takes with a king, you simply capture the rook and you have a winning position. So now rook c2 is a devastating threat, so my opponent played the correct move, rook d2, protecting the second rank. Now, even though this pawn is technically not hanging, but I don't want to have a loose pawn always to worry about. And plus, when you have a passed pawn, what do? Push it. So I push my passed pawn, and now, I have some rook c2 ideas, perhaps. My opponent goes king g2. She's trying to move the king away from the potential checks on f3, so she can finally start to move her knight soon. So yeah, the knight looks nice. My rook on f8, I mean, my pieces, they look good, but I still need to find a way to win this somehow. Okay? How can I try to win this? What's the next move that you have to try to play? Very soon she's going to run out of moves, and sort of it's going to be a zugzwang position.
Rook c2.
Correct? Pinning the rook. If takes, I'm planning to take, and now threatening knight d3 move, winning the rook. And if he goes here, same thing. Attack, takes, the fork as well. See, when you have a strong passed pawn and a knight, it always works out somehow tactically for you. So now opponent goes here, rook ed1, and now I really wanted to kind of fix opponent's pawn structure, so the knight cannot move and the pawns cannot advance. So what would be that fixing move here to make sure his pawns are not going forward?
h5.
Absolutely. Very strong move, h5. That also gives me a knight g4 square in some point if the knight moves. Now she goes knight f1. She is trying to perhaps move her knight on e3, activate the knight, and then in the long run come to c4. Just to give up 1 or 2 pawns, just to liquidate, okay? Just to simply liquidate my knight. Now, what can you do here? Excellent choice. Yes, knight g4 now controlling and stopping this knight from coming in. So basically this endgame is a domination of one knight versus another. That's like if you want a team, that would be the team, the domination of one knight versus another. Now, she can't take because of the pin. If she takes on c2, then I take with a pawn. If rook goes here, then I simply activate my rook with a check. King has to go here after rook e2. It's a really bad position because I'm threatening now to play knight here and knight d3 to win the rook. You can't really go anywhere. Okay? Knight e5, knight d3 is coming with some nice pressure. So that's why she didn't do that. She went king g1. And now this is a chance for you to activate your pieces a little bit more. What do you see here? Another move type of, because you need to get in with your pieces. Rook f2, correct. Now we have 2 rooks on the second rank. And if opponent captures this pawn, I was planning to go check here and just come here. And it's very hard for him to do anything against the triple fork. He's going to lose one of his rooks. So the best defense for her was probably to take on f2, knight f2, rook d2 idea. But in that case, I simply pick up the pawn on e4. And she takes, I go king f7. Now all my pawns are protected. Next move, I will take this pawn. I can also go knight f6, and this d5 pawn is most likely to fall as well. This is technically winning position for black. She should have played for this. This is the best defense for her. But she didn't do that. She didn't want to capture, so she played a5, trying to make sure she doesn't lose it. Now, I want another strong move here from you without rushing. She wants to push her pawns and maybe try to create a passed pawn. What would be the right idea to prevent that from happening? a5, of course a5, fixing it. Now I push, I just take, fixing it again. Now b4, trying to take. Yeah, again, probably she should have went for that line, but this is already, you know, just a desperation. But the position was already difficult because, again, I was just going to go rook e2 and then simply rook e2 and here and here. You know, the problem here is actually she has no moves. Like, you know, remember I mentioned the zugzwang? This is a zugzwang. Knight cannot move, this rook cannot move, this rook cannot move except captures. King cannot go away, rook f1 checks. It's a real zugzwang. That, you know, if she tries king h1, then who can see the tactic here? Yes?
Rook take f1, rook takes back, and then that you grab rook and b2.
Excellent. Perfect. So she played b4. We capture. Now she plays a5. Now I realize I probably need to just simplify the position, so I took. If she takes with a knight, who can show me the winner? Instantly you win this game. There you go. There you go, attacking that guy. Winning the game. Perfect. So took with the rook. And now knight e5. Perfect. The threat is to go knight f3 check. So here my opponent resigned because she really thought there was absolutely no hope here. So by the way, king g2 loses to move knight c4, and if take, pawn takes, and I'm queening. So if rook d1, I was planning to just simply, you know, win this pawn. Go after this way, take. And now we go back here. He tries to protect his background. Check. Rook f2. Now the knight cannot move, the king cannot move, none of the pawns can move. The only thing is the rook can move. So now you push, moves here, and now who is going to show me the tactic? A strong tactic to win.
Rook takes f1.
Excellent. Knight e1, look at that. Or you can really enjoy the position and just, if you really want to enjoy the position, you can march your king here, you know. If you want to win slowly, you know. I mean, I was probably just going to take on f1 and go knight e1, but really it's a very nice aesthetic position where opponent really cannot move anything except moving the rook back and forth, back and forth. Okay? Well, this was the game. I was happy to win a game against 2400 with the black pieces and move on to 2 out of 2 in Gibraltar. I had a good start, and then I start to play up a lot of my games after this. Okay, the next game I have for you here. This is a game against another 2400, almost 2400 opponent. It's let's go through the opening. So it's a young player from Spain. So I was probably winning or better throughout the whole game, and but things got a little bit complicated, and I want to, you know, get to the key moment here. So here I played the move Queen f5, and I played this move with lots of confidence, thinking that this is just probably going to be a technically winning position for me. My opponent correctly took, and we reached this position. I have a strong knight on c5 and 2 pawns, and one of my pawns is on a4. So we both during the game thought this is probably technically winning for me. But here, he had an idea that would have given him a draw. So I want to flip this for a moment and give you a chance to find the possible draw here that he had. It's very difficult to find it, but now since you know there is something, white, if finds the right plan, can make a draw here. to my shock, when the computer showed complete zeros here, I was like, how could this be zeros? I thought I have a clear plan. And then when I see his idea, I realize, yes, this idea is very, very strong. And I can't really do anything about it. No, it's not a pawn move. It's not a break. He actually played g4 here, I think. I think he played g4 here, but something else. It's something else you have here. Okay, my plan is this. I just bring the king to e6, and then I just gonna prepare b5. Yes?
I'm wondering if I can get rook to a1, d1, and attack your d6.
Yeah, but then king comes to e6 very quickly. Yeah.
King going up.
Knight e4, I'll pick up the c4 pawn as well there. Your rook on a3 is very well placed. I don't want you to move that rook because that rook is combining blocking the pawn, and also it's blocking the pawn and also attacking the a4 pawn. It's a very strong maneuver. Then it's suddenly very difficult for me to untangle this position because I also have my own weaknesses. It's not a pawn break or anything. I'm too strong here in the center to allow for you to be able to do any pawn breaks.
Doubling up your rooks?
If you double the rooks, let's say I go here, and then I'm going to go d5, and I'll have two connected pass pawns. And if you sacrifice here, yeah, you might have some chances, but I think with the amount of pawns on the board and this pass pawn going down the line, it's going to be probably winning this position. Okay, the first move is rook d2. Now he goes here, and now you play a strange move, rook b2. It looks like, what is this really doing? King e6, now d5, it's going to be game over, right? Getting the two connected pass pawns. And now rook b5, fantastic move. Now you're blocking all the pawns, and now if I play d5, you take, look at that, rook a4, winning a very important pawn on a6. And the strange thing about this position, I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan to improve my position here. I can't move my knight because I lose a4. I can't move my rook because I lose b6. And I don't have a way to, I can't play d5, which you already saw why. So if I move my king, you just move your king. I go here, let's say. Yeah, I can't really move my pieces in this position, because you also, for example, can play g4 here and exchange everything and go king g4 and king f5. So this is another idea. So this maneuver was very strong, okay? Rook here and rook b2. But my opponent played g4. This is the time pressure, so he tossed the pawn in and to see if we can hold. I took, he took, I took on g4. I thought probably I should be able to win this now. King g3, f5. Now I have a very strong protected pass pawn on f5. And it seems like a very strong move now. He has to take the pawn, and we made a time control. I have 4 pawns versus 2, a pass pawn on f4, protected pass pawn on g4. If I can somehow, and this rook is actually pretty awkward here as well. So I played the move king f6, and I was thinking, this looks like it's going to be a pretty nice, win for me in the endgame. And now, if he goes rook d5, I was planning to play the powerful move king g5, followed by knight e4 check, pick up the c4, and check, moving the king to back rank. But now he plays rook e8 after a long thought, and now I realize that maybe it's not so clear. Originally, I thought I'm just winning here after knight e4 check, but I saw an idea for him here. Do you see what's going to happen if I play knight e4 check here? What kind of resource he has? Otherwise, knight e4 check, we just take on c4, and it's just winning, because you go, then you push the b pawn as well. But he's got a very interesting resource in this endgame.
Takes knight.
Correct. Knight e4, if I play, he takes. I take, and he takes on a4.
And he gets the pass pawn on.
And now my g4 pawn is hanging. What to do? So I go here. And now, this still looks like I have good winning chances here, because now I go rook f6, rook f3, and that should be over. But now he has another fantastic move, the only move. Actually, he was thinking about something else, but what he was thinking about this move here. But I pointed out to him after the game that this loses. You know, possibly loses because of this rook f3 check I have. So let's look at this to make sure I'm right. This is losing, okay? This is losing. Check, take. I should be winning this. So if he trades rooks, goes here. So we get this endgame. And I think I might be able to win this because of this pawn here. So here I push, and now I go here. Looks like now. Looks like here if he goes here, he loses because I queen with the check. But looks like now he achieves the draw by playing this move. I push. Yeah, he catches the pawn at the very end with this. Okay. So it looks like he's probably also drawing in the king and pawn endgame because of that particular move. See, for example, this loses. This loses because I don't have to worry about it because I just get a queen, you know, on b1 with a check. So, and now he has this king e3 move. So, yeah. But the stronger way to make a draw here is c5, a clearance sacrifice. And now, if I take, he takes this one. Now this is hanging. I play c4, now check, here. And now, what is the only move here to make a draw for him? Because my rook is excellently placed behind a pass pawn, and now he has only one idea that he's going to use to make a draw. Let's see if you can find it. Rook d4, push. Actually, it's just push, and then I get into the magical square d3. Then it's a win. King d2, and this your suksuwang. Your suksuwang here. So. See, even this position, it seems like if you don't find the right move, you're going to lose this. What's the only move?
King f3.
You got it. The only move, huh? Only move king f3. Because now he pushes. G1. He pushes. You go here. And now you're just going to go walk, and take the pawn. So here. Just take everything. Got it? Well, what do I do? I mean, it would be very disappointing because I think I had like much easier ways to win this game. And I really wanted to win this game against him to move on to +3 so I can start playing up, you know. So this was like an opportunity for me to score because I would have 3.5 out of 4. And then I would move up the next round. So I didn't want to force a draw, so I dropped the rook on c7. Okay. Now I'm trying to go rook to h7 perhaps. Now he plays rook a2. He's suddenly trying to get active. We're really, you know, we both spend a lot of time here, but now I know one thing, and you should know that too. When you have a pass pawn, your rook belongs where?
Behind it.
Behind it. Always remember that. Rook belongs behind the pass pawn. And now he took a chance with this move. But this move loses to a very beautiful and a long line, okay? I push, he checks. I go here. Now he comes in. I push. Pass pawns meant to be pushed, remember that. You have a pass pawn, don't think about anything else but push it, unless you see something concrete, okay? He checks. I go here. He checks. Unfortunately, this doesn't help me anyway because this move. Because I go check, and if I go here, I actually get mated. Knight d6 and just takes mate. So if I can just transpose to the same position. So I figure I just go here right away. If he keeps checking me this way, then my path is going to be much easier. I just go here, I go here, I go here, and after this, I hide. Yes?
What if he, the move before this, had done rook hg8?
If he goes rook hg8, no perpetual, no perpetual. He go here. He checks, we go here. He checks. Look at that block. All right? So he kind of got a better version of what he can get here. So he checked me. And now it looks like he's in time. He's in time to stop my pawn from queening. But this is a winning position, okay? You cannot afford to lose your a2 pawn. So what's the move? Yes?
Knight e4.
Check. Now he went backwards. Let's take a look what would happen if he comes here. You protect. And now, if he takes, you push. If he goes here, you step aside. He goes here, check. This way now his king has to step away. And now two pass pawns on the second rank, they cannot be stopped with the rook unless the rook is on the first row. This check is very important because this way I moved his king away so he can no longer threaten a checkmate on me, and now I'm winning. So I was happy to see this because I felt like if I have this, I should have a victory. Another trick that I had to calculate was this move e4. Sometimes moves like this save the game, you know. Knight cannot take again, my a2 pawn is hanging. If I play g3, he takes, but now luckily I take this way. He takes, absolutely important for you to get the pawn on where? e2. e2, yes? Now he goes here. Your knight cannot move. Okay, your pawns cannot move and your king is cut off. But do you see the way you're going to win this? It's an amazing position. The pawns and the knight, they're protecting, and the knight cannot be taken either.
e5.
No, b5 he takes.
He takes, you take with the knight, and you take his rook.
Well,
So let's say if he takes,
no, but you take with the knight, he takes your pawn on a2. He's not going to blunder the rook there. So the only way you're going to win is now you move this way, the king. Okay? So, and you just go all the way here. So if he goes here, this, I'm going to show you the similar line in the game, but this is the line. Just go all the way here. He is going to move, and then you all the way up here, win this. And if he does this, it's amazing that he cannot take the knight because the e-pawn queens. So he doesn't have a way of, the knight only, c3 is protecting everything. So he got another version of this actually. He went king g2. I had to protect, and now he goes here. He is threatening now to walk with the king e1 and king d2. Now I have to be quick here, right? King f8. I gotta get out of the back rank, okay? Now he goes here. He's trying to play the move king to d2. Now I go here. If he goes king d2 to attack my knight, what is the winning move? g3, yes. He takes the knight. You push, and remember, two pass pawns on a second rank cannot be stopped with a rook if it's on a seventh. It has to be on the first. So that wins. So after g3, now he has to go back. Now you continue with your walk. You continue with the walk. And now he's like, okay, I'm winning this guy. You're attacking one more time. Now if he goes here, you're going to get tempos. So here he can, here he can. So he has to go here. And now, continue. b7. You move up. King f4, you move up. He takes here. You attack. You attack because he has to take. Because if he goes here now, what are we going to do? That's it. Blocking the rook and getting a full queen, okay? So he has to take this, which I would take. Now he pushes, the only chance to march it. We take, he marches it, and now let's get a knight on d5, can we? His pawn is stopped, our pawn is going through. And that's why he resigned. Okay, it's an endgame that looked like he's going to be able to hold, yeah? It's like it looked so close to a draw, but at the end it ends with this, beautiful endgame that actually, this is actually winning. This position, it looks like he should be able somehow to get a draw, but this construction I have with the pawns here is helping me to win this game. But again, the critical line was also this line, king f4, take, and here it's critical that I have this knight e4 check, moving his king away and then pushing my pawn. Without that, it would have been more difficult. All right, okay, very good. So let's do one or two studies, okay? So I want to make sure that you're looking at this. This one in particular is very interesting, this endgame, okay? You are playing this position with the white pieces, and he has a pass pawn that he's ready to just push, okay? So white to play and draw. You need to find a way to make a draw here, okay? The first two moves are very, very important, okay? The problem we have here, our king is not in the square, okay? So our king, it's not in the square here. And that's why his black is just going to try to push it. So we have to do something about that. Well, he's going to queen on h1, the black pawn. a4, he will just push, h5, a5, h4. Yes?
I think I have to push b6 first, because I'm going to some way need to get enough pawns close to it, so I haven't calculated the whole thing.
Well, the problem is b6, I go h5. Your pawn pushes are very far, and aha. It's actually, the first move is very important. So king c7 it's a natural move, but there are some things with the tempos, that you have to calculate. Sometimes in these positions you don't want to go the most direct way because of just the tempos. Aha, king d7, correct. He pushes, correct? Now you go king c7. It looks like why we just did that, but you'll see the point. Now he is 3 squares away from queening. He is 3 squares away from queening now. What can you do here? a4, h3, a5, h2, a6, h1, just protecting it. Now you got to see an idea. You guys need to have an idea, okay? You need to have an idea, then you'll be good.
Got the idea and just can't calculate it.
We have, okay, I'll give you a hint. We have done a similar puzzle before.
Yes.
Okay? It's another one. It's a little bit more direct. So I'm sure you will recognize the idea when we do it at the end. Is how are you going to make that work? That's the key. It's I know you're calculating the pawn pushes and everything, but doesn't look like they're going to go through, They don't look like it. Aha, you have an idea. You gotta make it work though. You gotta make it work concretely, yeah? So if everything else loses, then we try that idea, right? So king up, he pushes. Now you go here, he pushes.
b5 to b6.
He pushes. It looks like no way you're gonna stalemate this. You have like a 1, 2, 3. You got a lot of pawn moves here. How are you gonna stalemate this? b5. Okay, now he goes here now, attacks you. What do you do?
b4.
Checkmate. Improve on that.
b3.
a4. That's stalemate. Okay? If a4, can take it. And if he goes now this way, you go this way. What if I go here? I try to set up another mating idea. If you push b4, I go queen a3. What do you do again? Absolutely, you play a4. Perfect. All right. Last trick in this position. What if I played this move? Check. I say take my pawn. I see that you're trying to do that self-stalemate, so I'm trying to sacrifice that pawn.
King a6.
King a6, but I'm queen now. Then you have to take my pawn. There's no stalemate. Correct. I push. Correct. What do we call that now? Self-stalemate. If the king wasn't there, he would go queen a8 and say checkmate to you. But it's there. And that's a box. And that's called self-stalemate. Any questions? Okay, very good. Yeah, we have done a similar one before on a different side of the board, okay?